Miss Ashley. Would you like me to call you Miss Ashley? Ashley, what would you like for me to call you? So I can be comfortable with what you.
Well, what makes you comfortable, really? Because I really
I
don't
would
want.
prefer to call you my sister.
Well, you can do that if it makes you feel comfortable.
Yes, it would. I mean, because it makes it personal, respectful, and close. Okay. Or daughter.
Okay.
I mean, because you could be all of them.
And as I stated in the introduction, I said that also.
Okay.
So
all right. Now back to the youth. And being the person to work with you from a mentor perspective, you're going to be coached in what we really want to do and how we really want to gear the youth that we'll be working with. As mentoring, that which is taught to children through mentors really affect their whole life. And to get a chance to be an influence in an individual's life, as well as learning for yourself, because the things that you be working with them in and with, it most definitely will affect your own life. When we're dealing with children, say, because we're going to be dealing with children from 6 years old to 19 years old. We don't know which children that you personally will be working with, but that will be the age range that the program will be working with as far as youth. Now, we know that many of the adults are the prime factor of our children being misled. Just like you mentioned earlier about the uncle giving the little nephew a drink of his beer, wine, or alcohol when he's only 5 years old, just to see how he reacts. A lot of times with the aunts or the sisters or the friends or family members, dealing with little girls, they can mislead them at young ages. And as a mentor, you more than likely will have to deal with children who have been mistaught, and they will come to you for advice. Have you ever thought about when children come to you as far as questions pertaining to sex? As a mentor, what would you tell a 13-year-old girl? Do you have any, have you ever thought about if a 13-year-old girl just entering the 7th or 8th grade and getting into the interest of boys? You thought about how you would deal with them?
I think it would really depend on the advice that they ask me and what they come to me for.
Mm-hmm.
If the young woman asks me, I'm really liking this guy, but he wants to go a step further than I'm comfortable for. I really want to do this because I want him to like me more. If I was approached with a question like that, I would tell this young lady that you should never be pushed into a situation or make a decision that will affect your life after it's done. So what I would also follow up and tell her that you have a whole life ahead of you. And
let me ask you this. would you tell her that it was wrong?
That what was wrong?
Even considering the sex question.
No, I would not tell her that it would be
At
wrong.
13?
No, asking me the question?
Yeah, asking you the question, you wouldn't tell her that hopefully she was not even considering it because sex at 13 is wrong. You wouldn't tell her that? As a mentor?
As a mentor, it's because those questions are going to come up. To tell
I understand
her,
they'll come up.
Yeah, I don't know how I would approach that situation. To tell her that outrightly you shouldn't think about it or consider it. I don't think that.
How could you tell a 13-year-old girl how to consider sex?
I would tell her to give it time or whatever. That's what I would say. Give it some time. Think about it.
At 13, what kind of time would you consider telling her to share?
What do you mean? What type of?
If a 13-year-old girl would come to you, if a 13-year-old boy would come to me and tell me that he was interested in girls, and ask me my direction, how would I coach him in dealing with his approach to girls, and a 13-year-old boy is beginning to think about sex, and his hormones, at 13, his hormones can be driving him that away. But as a mentor, I would have to tell him that at his age, sex is wrong. And sex would only create problems for him that would cause him even more problems. I would talk to him and share with him that if she first I would thank him for coming to me. But as his friend and as his mentor, I would want him to know the truth, and in that truth, in every way, I would try to help him to understand that him considering sex at his age is definitely wrong, because it can only harm him. It won't answer questions for him, and it can create an appetite, that in most cases children at 13, 14 years old can't handle. That's how I would approach it. I definitely would approach it that way. So you're telling me that if a 13-year-old girl would come to you, you would not tell her that sex was wrong for her?
No, I wouldn't. Of course, I wouldn't say that it's right for her age at this time. I would tell her to at least. I would say that seriously think about what you're doing and the problems that it would affect. Because regardless if I say yes or no, it's wrong or right, regardless, she's gonna do it anyway. So,
but as a mentor, guiding her in the right direction, you would have to. I would think it's misleading.
How so?
Because at 13, she really don't have the mind to make a decision like that to have sex. She don't have that. Her mind's not mature enough to make a decision like that. That's why I would try to coach her and helping her understand that it's not a good choice. It's not a good decision. It's not a good approach for her own life. But to say that, I wouldn't say it one way or the other, I would have to tell her that. Because sex at 13, I'm not saying that she won't do it anyway, but it's critical. The average girl is 13, 14 years old, she's having sex. For the sake of this YouTube, we have to cut it right here.